Hello, people of Earth, and welcome to another episode of the Just for Giggles podcast. I'm your host, Aubrey Friedrich, and see, every single time I say that little intro, I'm like, what am I supposed to say next? So I'm just gonna start yapping. I love doing these little weekly, like, recap dump things. Again, like I said last week, I have some fun things in the works, and I'm very excited for you guys to see them, hear them, etc. But every single time I sit down and I'm like, what happened this week? What can I tell the class this week? And I write down everything I think of because I kind of keep track throughout the week. And it's like, this doesn't seem like I did anything at all. And then I go to look in my camera roll or something, and there is nothing there because I take no pictures ever, literally ever. It's chronic. It is so bad. In other news, guys, I wore my hair straight today because I noticed I was looking at the catalog. Catalog, what? Um, in the past several videos, my hair's been curled. Whoa. I lost my voice there for a moment. And it's either been curled or it's been my natural hair, which don't get me wrong, my hair is naturally straight, but it's looked a little goofy. But today I actually straightened it, but my little front pieces were doing something else, so I put little fun clips in. So how aesthetic. So I kind of probably look a little egg-ish right now, but Humpty Dumpty ain't got nothing on me. In other hair related news, my hair is a lot darker than I thought it was. Well, not a lot, but it's just generally darker than I thought it was. Cause I thought I don't know, I just whatever. And then Maisie and I took a picture together the other day, and I was looking at it, and our entire lives, I was like, oh yeah, we just have the same hair color. And I looked at it, and I was like, I never realized how different our hair colors were, because mine's probably a level, or maybe I wouldn't go far as to say 2 levels, maybe 1.5 levels darker than hers. And I was just like, wow. I don't know. Because I've gotten highlights sporadically over the last couple years, maybe a total of 3 times in my life, max 4. I don't think it's been 4. Maybe it has been 4. Yeah, because I got it done just for Christmas one year, and then I got it done again for my senior pictures, and then I got it done while I was in cosmetology school, and then I got it after I graduated, but I went back to the cosmetology school I went to just because, it's a yearly thing to go back, pay a visit, let them do something for you. And I was like, yeah, I'll just get highlights. I don't think I got highlights at any other point. I don't know. I think I have really grown out low lights in there somewhere if they're still on my head and they haven't been cut off. But I can tell you that there's grown out highlights in there. And there might still be remnants of when I had pink hair. You visibly can't see it in most spots, but if you can see it anywhere, it's underneath. But I'm not I was looking at my hair last night and I was like, I don't know if I can really see anything. So maybe that's just the end of an era, which is very unfortunate because I think about going pink again a lot more than what's reasonable. So I feel like at some point in life, I definitely will go back. I just don't know when. But I don't know. I also gave Maisie a haircut last night because her hairs were really, really, really long, and her ends were starting to get a little frail, and the split ends were starting to get to it and look a little crazy. So took off 2 inches and did some little face framey pieces or whatever. Looked fantastic. Nothing else really in that world. I have no voice. Oh my goodness. It's a constant yapping problem. It also didn't help that I haven't spoken much today, so my voice is still a little goofy. I had choir rehearsal last night, so That's like an hour straight of singing. It's cold season, so naturally everything's just dry. I need to be drinking more water. Um, so it's just overall really, I'm gonna take a sip of water. Let's all take a sip of water together, shall we? Stay hydrated. But last night at choir rehearsal, I don't I just showed up feeling good after I had the most boring day ever. Like I think I fell asleep at work. No, I don't think I fell asleep, but I was like so bored out of my mind because there was no towels to fold. There really wasn't a whole lot to do, so I was just sitting at the front desk, just bored. That's okay. My uncle spontaneously like popped in for a haircut. I was like, "Hey." Oh my gosh, the I buried the lead. Oh my goodness. My client or one of my clients who's an old lady, like an old lady. Like she didn't have like a walker or a cane, but she was like visibly not walking around the best. Um she asked me what my maiden name was. What my maiden name is. And I looked at her and I was like, "Oh, honey, I am 19 years old. And who's to say 19-year-olds can't be married? Like, I have a couple classmates that are either married or engaged, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you're happy, I'm happy. Go for it. Be my guest." Like, I literally looked at her and I chuckled. I was like, "Honey, I'm 19." I'm no. And then she asked if I was dating anybody, and I was like, "No, there is nobody in the picture. Not at all." I thought that was so funny. It just made me chuckle. Also, speaking of like older ladies, I say that as like if being old is a bad thing. I think being old is like like low key really cool because wiseness or like wisdom, yeah, wisdom comes with age. And also I just think like an incomparable level of humor comes with age because I don't know, just being older just makes you instantly funny. I don't know what it is, but my one coworker, she only does like two of her like best friend's hair like every other week. And she, let's see, I asked her because every all of the other girls my age that work at the salon were like too scared to, and I was like, okay, or she can do is like hate me, but like let's be real, I don't really care. I asked her how old she was, and I think she said she's like 78, but she came to work on Monday with this massive gash on her head because she fell, like she slipped on water in her kitchen and hit her head. There's like a gash, like I'm not sure exactly how long it was, but it looked to be like 2.5 inches long, I'd say. But that could have, some of it could have just been like dried blood or whatever. But like it happened, and she told us that she like went to um like go take a shower and whatnot because it was like really bad, but it just still was not looking great. It was, oh my goodness, it was like we kept telling her she needs to go to like urgent care or something. And she's like, "No, I'm not doing that." Because, the sternness or something. But then my boss's husband's mom, I think I said that correctly, is like a nurse. So she called her up and she told her what had happened. And she was like, her response was like, "Hey, you like need to go to urgent care or whatever because your age, like that could like mean for some serious damage. Like you gotta go." I think I heard some update. I think she definitely got like something. I don't remember whether she said it. I don't think it was glue, so I'm not sure if it was staples or stitches, but it could have been glue. I don't know. But she went and she got fixed up, and as far as I'm concerned, she's okay. Um, but speaking of like random incidents like that, oh my goodness. Let's see. I was working at the bowling alley on Saturday. I was in the middle of a 9-hour shift. And I'll tell you what, I don't super enjoy being there, if I'm being quite honest. I mean, we had like the special needs kids come in. They come in once a month, and they just like bowl for like an hour and a half or something, and they like get a bunch of pizza and whatnot, and they're like run by there's like 4 or 5 like ladies that like run it. I don't know if that's the correct word. It's probably not, but that's okay. And they're all super nice, and every like it was the first time I had seen them since like their last like season or whatever, because they take like the summers off just like league bowlers do and everything. And they were all just like, "What's your name again? Like, what are you up to? What year did you graduate?" One of them asked me if it was my full-time job, and I like literally laughed. I was like, "No, no, 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 no." I was like, "Honey, this is my second job." Could you imagine? Oh my goodness, no. But they're all really nice, and they tip me good money. But anyway, it was after that, but before like a bunch of like birthday parties that were later in the day. I was just minding my business, doing some side work, and out of nowhere, this like lady comes up to me, and she had come in. I think it was like one birthday party, and it was like her family. So one of her somebody in their party was celebrating a birthday, and like one small birthday party is easy to manage, but it's just when there's multiples coming in, or like there's friend groups that come in and want food, or other just families that are just there for recreational purposes where they all want food. It's just when it gets really crazy. But the one lady who was really nice, she came up to me and asked if I had like a towel or something, because she made it like sound like there was a spill, or I don't know. It all just kind of like went in one ear and out the other. But I was like, "Yeah, do you need like I don't know." But I went to like the cleaning supply closet, and I grabbed a towel and I gave it to her. And then I noticed like all of the adults of their party were like surrounding, like they were all huddled together, and I like walked closer to them, and I assume it was this lady's son, I'm not for sure, was having a seizure on the floor. I'll tell you what, if my life didn't flash before my eyes, because I've made it very clear on this podcast. I feel like I mention it like every single episode, but um I have epilepsy, and I don't, it was just something about seeing it happen to another person that just really did something to me, because knowing that I was that person, it just I don't know, it just I could cry. Like I'm like I can feel like my like face warming up, and I, it was just a lot. It was really a lot. And it was the first day of Epilepsy Awareness Month. So wear your purple and support, study up on like what to do if somebody's having a seizure, for all of the epileptics, like safety or whatever. Sorry, I'm just like at a loss for words, because that was still something so crazy. And what made it even like crazier to me was I've been working at the bowling alley for over a year. And I've walked the grounds of the bowling alley several times naturally. And I was walking from one side of the bowling alley back to the kitchen, and there's a bunch of arcade games, right? And there's one that's like the Fast and Furious themed, where you like sit in this like chair and you're like driving a car. I was walking by the Fast and Furious arcade thing, and obviously it like shuffles through various screens where it's like, be the fastest, get first place, and then like like the logo of the thing. But I was walking by in this particular time, and I didn't realize, like I didn't see this until maybe like a month ago, and it had like the screen said warning for epileptics, and then it had like a full paragraph or whatever. And a lot of times when I see stuff like that, like I chuckle a little bit, because it like applies to me. Maybe it's, I don't know. Or like anytime I see, because like Maisie came home with a permission slip for some like overnight thing that she's going to be attending sometime. I don't know. And it was like medical conditions to be aware of, like, and it said like example diabetes, epilepsy. And I looked at it and I was like, that's me. But it had that warning on it. And this kid, from what I heard, one of his like one of his family members said it to another one. He was like, he was sitting on this thing and then he started seizing and he fell off. And that poor kid probably hit his head, which is like, wow. On the first day of Epilepsy Awareness Month. And then, anyway, the next day, I went to church, as I do every Sunday. And that particular day, or yeah, that particular day was All Souls Day. Because November 1st is always All Saints Day. Because, again, I'm Catholic. All Souls Day, which again obviously gets you thinking about all of your loved ones who've passed away and everything like that. So that's also on my mind. And then maybe like during like the consecration or whatever. And I'm not exactly sure what happened. What I want to assume, but I could be so incredibly wrong, is a kid passed out or something, went unconscious, or even, I don't even want to say he had a seizure too, because I think that would kill me. But the next thing I know, like, I feel like everybody in the church who had some sort of medical background was standing around this kid and his, I want to assume dad, but you can't, like, I obviously don't know, was like on the phone. And after church was over, um, like there was like the EMS or whatever. And I was like, I just can't take this. Like, this is a lot to be holding at one time. Like, it was just very tense. And again, it's just kind of the thing where knowing that I've been that emergency, like that's been me before many times. I did not think I'd end up like borderline crying today. Like that's never really the goal. But I don't know. It was it was just wow. I don't anyway. Anyway, let's let's talk about something more lighthearted. The other day, I was sitting and getting ready for bed, and I was like looking at my nails, and I was like, oh, this one's just like a tiny bit longer than the other because my trained eye is like known for seeing every single little thing. And I was like, oh, this one's just kind of like a little bit longer, or like this one's like the almond is a little bit more to this side, or I'm not like overly picky about it, but it's like things I see that I am just like, because like all nail techs make mistakes. Like who's like I know, like because I'll take a picture of the nails and then they'll leave or whatever, and I'll go and like look at the photos afterwards, and I'll be like, oh, that's like I like see, and I was like, oh, that one's like a little off center or something like that, or like stuff like that. But I was like holding my hands like in the stereotypical like prayer position, I guess you could say. And it's like, wait, I think my fingers on my right hand are ever so slightly longer than the fingers on my left. Or I could just totally be full of it. I don't know. Also, I think almond nails are like, well, almond nails have just like always been my thing, but I think French tips are like really my thing. 'Cause I've never like had like French tips before. I mean, it was, oh, was I in school at this point? I don't know. But I tried doing French tips on myself. I mean, I could do my left hand just fine, but when it came to using my non-dominant hand, oh my gosh, it was awful. So then I'd never done French tips on myself again. So having them done makes me just feel super cool. I think they're body and you can't go wrong with them. I think my next set is probably going to have French tips involved. I'm either thinking white, a shade of a brown, or even that tortoise shell energy, and then with some like gold chrome leaf. I don't know. Pinterest photo. I found it on Pinterest. And the Pinterest photo had a white French tip. Excuse me. Whoa. But I have free will and I can change it and do whatever I want. um Something I've noticed lately is that like actually this story is still related to nails because I try to group all of my stories that are similar together even if they all happen at different times throughout the week. Surprise soak offs are literally like the worst thing ever because soaking off gel polish is one thing, but soaking off like acrylics or gel X or builder gel or literally any form of nail enhancement is a pain. And it takes like half an hour to 45 minutes. Like it takes a long time. And it's not like I was in any particular rush because it was my last girl of the day. And she was only coming in because she like broke a nail fixing her shoe. And it was like the weirdest like nail break I've ever seen. And I know it wasn't my prep work or anything. I know it was her. So nobody can come at me saying my work sucked in this situation. But she told me she was going to soak it off at her house. And I was like, okay, you do you. And then she shows up and it's still on. I was like, girl, you told me you were going to soak it off at home. And she's like, yeah, I know, but it got a little hectic. She has two younger kids. So I was like, whatever. I'm not in any particular rush today. But if she tries to do that again, we're probably going to have some problems. This is also another story that's like semi work related. Literally, my entire life is just work. That just I get physical checks from the salon, which I know a lot of places just do direct deposit nowadays. But I get a physical check and then I get a receipt for the check or for something. I don't know. I just get a receipt. But every single week, I'm just like, where do these numbers come from? Or like, I just always ask to see the numbers. And I was like, taxes, what does this mean? Because I don't get a W 2. It's something with like a 1099. I don't know. So I ask her the same questions every single week. I'm like, what does this mean? I don't understand. And I'm just like, I don't know. Two things are certain in life, death and taxes. Oh no. But I kid you not, like I have no real social life. Like last week, I couldn't tell you for sure, but it felt like I was either at one of my two jobs or I was like getting ready for bed. Like I was bed rotting. And there's some mornings where I wake up and I'm just like, I can't wait to go back to bed tonight. Or like I'll leave work and I'll be like, I can't wait to just crawl into bed. Or I'll leave to go to work and I'm just like, I can't wait to go home. It's problematic. I just love my bed. I have a very healthy relationship with my bed. It's just a nice, cozy, warm, little happy place of mine. And with that being said, boom pow. That is all of it. Boom pow is like my version of bam what. I noticed I've been saying boom pow a lot lately. I don't know where it came from. It just kind of shut up. What else has been new in my life? I really don't think anything. I feel like so much, but so little has happened over the last week. But you've made it this far into the episode, which is amazing, fantastic. And since you're here, you should go find the follow or the subscribe button and the like button. We love the like button. Or even if you want, drop a comment. Go ahead. I'd love to read it. I'm very thankful that you've been here this far, that's super fun. If you haven't, go watch the past episodes. Go rewatch the past episodes if you want. Or if you're down for a really funny laugh, go watch the first one that is extremely cringy and just thinking about it makes me uncomfortable. I hope you stick around cuz like I said there's some fun things coming. Um yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited. Cue the non-existent outro.